no one besides ZEC has seen the voters roll up to now. I haven't seen the voters roll. We have a biometric voters roll. What has been given to people is what we call an Excel spreadsheet, which you are given on a CD-ROM. Now, if you go to other countries like Zambia, Malawi, every agent has got a book with the voters roll, with pictures of the people, what we call your biometric data that you see on your passport or national ID, which is very ironic because for some reason, ZEC has decided that the face of someone is a private thing. So they say if we give you a picture of a person, it's a private thing. I have not seen the most public part of any person is the face. In this room, if you look at us, all of us, most of us have their faces exposed, isn't it? That is the primary issue of identification. But for some reason, ZEC thinks it gives you a document, and which is very peculiar because in Zimbabwe, if you have traveled across Africa, we are one of the few countries which introduced a biometric passport ID and a passport long before the rest of Africa was doing it. If you go to Uganda, Kenya, I've worked in Uganda for a year, they don't have biodata of their citizens. They don't move around with IDs. It's a phenomena which you find in South Africa and Zimbabwe, where you have what you call a national ID. And this came about because of the pass laws. If you in South Africa and Zimbabwe, you had to have permission to go to town. Okay? So for you to go to town, to come to Harare, they needed to see what your pass. So that is what gave to our national ID. So if you look at the national ID, it identifies your characteristics, because it was very important to know whether you were black, colored, or white. It even identifies you with number, name, and so forth. It also goes further to identify your chief and your village and your district. Okay? So you don't find this phenomena anywhere else in Africa except South Africa, isn't it? And Zimbabwe, because of the colonial system that was there. But ironically, those are the only countries where you don't have a biometric voters roll given to citizens. But every day you are required to produce an ID with your biometric data. And we have argued about that because this creates distortions. That's why we had a dispute about the Mashonaland central vote, which grew in 1 hour by 300,000 votes. We had a dispute with the Mutare North vote, which had 13,000 more people voting for the president than that voted for the MP and the councillor. It had a variable distortion which was unexplained. And the absence of the biometric voters roll makes it very difficult for you to be able to know whether people came in.